Hey everybody, it is late at night and I am Norman. If you caught my earlier video about the watch trade challenge, you already know that it's still alive and kicking. So tonight we're going to do a full review of one of the watches that I got for the Louis Russell watch. We're going to be reviewing the Hamilton. Oh, that watch is gorgeous. So let us begin. Alright, so here is the Brilliant vintage Hamilton watch. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a piece that I would absolutely love to have in the collection, but it is part of the watch trade challenge, so I'll be offering it up with a second watch. So this time there are two. If need be, we can split them up. Otherwise, I will be offering two watches to trade for whatever you have that you would like to trade for them. This is the strap that I received it on. It's brand new and still needs broken in. It's a little bit stiff. And these lugs, I believe, are actually about 17.5 millimeters wide. This is an 18 millimeter strap and it's pretty snug in there. So the upside of that is you could go with 18 or 17, whichever you prefer on this. The lugs on this watch are really cool. They have a flat angled surface here, if you can see that. There we go. So from the top, they kind of look Bauhausy, just utilitarian. And then you see them from the side and there's that cool facet to them. There's a good shot of it. Looking at the case back, it calls out the stainless steel case back here and the 10 karat gold plated case up here. And the plating on this case looks great. I haven't noticed any spots where base metal's coming through. Even the crown is nice and golden. There are some little scuffs on the case, but it doesn't look too terribly roughed up at all. The lugs are in great shape. There's a little bit of marking on this one, but the rest look pretty good. There's a little mark up here on the bezel area. And here. Other than that, it is also in great shape. The aesthetics of this watch and the condition it's in is very comparable to my Wittnauer watch. And I think in the future I'll put this side by side with that. That would be pretty cool. And looking at the crown, that is the only beef I have with this watch. So when I first received it, I had a really difficult time winding this watch, and I was concerned that there was something wrong with it because I had it wound and the next day it was 6 hours off. But when I picked it up, it was still running, but I don't think it had a full wind because for the past 4 days or so, I've kept this thing well wound and I've been monitoring it and it's been running just fine. I've been kind of breaking in the strap a little bit also by just wearing the watch during my workday. It's absolutely gorgeous. So let's use this crown. It is just so tiny that it is difficult to get a grip on it. So as the watch is getting wound, it just gets extremely difficult and it's tough to tell when it's fully wound because of that. Kind of like my Palliot watches are. Those are kind of tough to wind also, but yeah. Okay, so let's pop this crown out. and try setting the time on it. Nice solid click there. And it feels great when you're setting the time. The hands aren't overly loose or anything like that. And you can see that it does not hack. It's still moving around there. Alright, so let's pop this back in. Yeah, great click there. That's pretty good. It's not muddy at all. Looking at the crystal. One of my favorite elements of vintage watches are their crystals. They're always so amazing. And this one is kind of like half domed, half box crystal. Right there, you can kind of see it. I've used a little bit of polywatch on this to get just the little tiny subtle scuffs and whatnot out of it. I think there's still a couple more that I'm going to work on so that when I do offer this up for trade, this will be in pristine condition. And looking at the dial, I mean, speaking of pristine condition, look at that thing. That is in excellent shape. I love that 12 o'clock indicator there. Very Art Deco style. Maybe Art Nouveau style there? Art Deco. And same with these indicators here for the 3, 6, and 9. And then the other ones are slightly tapered batten markers. Excellent design on this watch. If I didn't already own the Wittnauer and I had come across this on eBay, I would have totally been tempted by it. I love the hands on this watch as well. They just look great. They're not Dauphine hands, but they have a very similar overall aesthetic to them. Amazing looking. Alright, so the case size on this is not for the faint of heart though. This is a small, definitely vintage size watch, which for me personally, I'm totally cool with. I personally like watches that are squarely within the vintage proportions and yeah. So the specifications on this watch. As I mentioned, it's small case size. The case size on this watch is 32 millimeters. The case height is 9 millimeters, including that crystal. The lug to lug is 38 millimeters. The lug width is 17.5 millimeters. So like I mentioned, you could go with an 18 millimeter strap. It'll just be really snug in there. Or you could go with a straight 17 millimeter strap and there'll be just a little bit of space there. So I think my Space Views lugs are kind of like that because I've had 18 millimeter straps fit perfectly on that watch and I've had others that don't fit at all. So yeah. The crystal on this is acrylic, being vintage. Yeah. Alright, so let's get some wrist shots of this brilliant watch. Alright, so let me take off the Armida. Oh, this watch is so cool. I have it on a brand new rubber strap that I got for it. This is actually really comfortable, even though it's not the soft silicone. It's definitely rubbery rubber. But it looks great on this watch. It actually tapers a little bit, unlike the one I had on it before. Yeah, just looks great. Let me take this off and we'll see what that amazing Hamilton looks like when it's on your wrist. And here is the Hamilton on my 55 millimeter wide 7-inch wrist. The strap looks good on this watch, but it is stiff and not comfortable at all. It really needs broken in. You may be able to see how stiff it is in this footage. Yeah. But the watch itself is amazing. Just brilliant. Again, I love the indices that are on that. So great. And it is tiny, but it seems to wear pretty well. It doesn't look terribly undersized to me personally. But then again, I'm used to wearing vintage watches frequently, so absolutely gorgeous. There you have it, the gold-plated vintage Hamilton watch. It is not for the faint of heart though, definitely a vintage size. But keep your eyes open because I'm going to be doing a review of a second watch that I'll be offering along with this one for trade. So if you're interested in both of the watches, you can just reach out to me via email. I will be sure to have my email address listed in the description of that video. Thanks for watching.